despite the exponential evolution of AI that we see in daily news, I have yet to encounter a single enterprise organization that has put agentic AI in production at scale. I'm seeing a lot of very expensive experiments, POCs, pilots, very simplistic task agents like a meeting booker or email organizer. And so when it comes to this living in this quote unquote golden age of AI, sometimes it's kind of clear that right now that goal might be simply stuck behind the walls of the OpenAIs and the NVIDIAs of the world. Process agents are capable of navigating your unique operational landscape with clear understanding of the nuances that you have in your organization. For example, if you're processing a claim in the property and casualty department versus that of the life and disability department, it's a very different process, right? If you are processing a claim in South Dakota, the regulations there might very much differ from the ones in Tennessee. So this type of nuances and context of your process variations is something that LLMs will simply not be able to learn and be able to operate under that context. So building what we call the large action models, which will be the models, the multidimensional models that will enable these process agents, is really using the direct modeling of human actions. What your human workers are doing by interacting with digital interfaces and doing a continuous observation of the work that they're doing by generating that end-to-end telemetry of your operational landscape. And so this way, they are able to be cognizant of all of your domain-specific operations, the context, your process variants, your exceptions, and permutations of those processes. So large action models are really kind of the door openers to goal-oriented, autonomous, and contextual process automation, building smart agents at scale in your enterprise that are ready to drive domain-specific processes with all of the different variants that you will typically encounter. And so I think crossing the chasm is really what will differentiate today's automation leaders from tomorrow's. Because instead of thinking about static process maps or PDDs or RPA scripts, we probably have to start thinking about how do I generate a living digital twin of my operations that I can then feed into this large action models in a continuous basis. Frontier foundational models do not have the context of how your organization operates. So if I put this in the context of an analogy for self-driving cars, the first time I rode in one of those, it was a frightening but a very fascinating experience. Seeing that there was no human in control of the wheels, there's no human in control of the pedals, but I was feeling reassured that, well, this Waymo will get me safely to my destination because of all of the information that it has captured, the real-time GPS, the clear understanding of the local routes, and the fastest and most efficient way to get me to my destination. If we would not put driverless cars on the road without all of these conditions, right, why we would do that with enterprise AI agents? What if AI agents could actually get trained in your organization's unique first-party operational data and not having to rely on generic assumptions? What if they could figure out exactly how to navigate exceptions and edge cases without needing additional human input? And what if they could learn from the nuances and the best practices of your top performance and then be able to replicate and even multiply the capacity of their outcomes? And lastly, what if actually they can operate with built-in governance, with security guardrails, audit trails, value measurements, and be able to actually link their outputs to their business outcomes? I think that will probably eliminate a lot of the last mile challenges that we're seeing in the agentic implementation journey today. While AI is the brain and automation is the muscle, data is the lifeblood of your agentic AI journey. And there is a clear emphasis on the quality and the breadth of that data. The only way for us to capture that contextual operational knowledge is to then direct observation of human actions and their interactions with their digital workstations. So Skan AI's process intelligence technology is the first AI-powered solution that really allows you to capture the 360-degree view of your operational black box. And it creates that living digital twin of your processes by using non-intrusive and continuous observation of your human operators at work and creating that end-to-end work telemetry that can then be fed into your large action models.
One of the things that we started doing within the operation was actually walk through these steps, going out and capture and analyze what's actually going on, in our overall process and things of that nature. And then finding all those bottlenecks and all those inefficiencies and coming to terms, not arguing in a room, but actually looking at the data and saying, okay, this is actually what's happening. How do we resolve that moving forward? We're using Skan's technology. We're now able to see things in real time, not only what's going on from a process aspect, but also what's going on from a staffing aspect as well. So that sort of led us to how do we start creating our future workforce? And so we went through these processes. I won't read them all, you've already read through them, the digital twin, all the way to the agentic automation aspect of looking at what's going on. And then going through these overall process of seeing what's actually happening holistically as we're moving into another, what's our future workforce looking like? Not eliminating teams, but actually how do we augment nursing staff, everyone else around that to be more effective in what's going on.